Have you ever felt that sinking worry when you think about moving into a nursing home? It's a feeling many older women know all too well, that quiet fear of losing your independence, your comfort, and the life you've built. I've been there myself, watching loved ones face that crossroads and feeling that same mix of sadness and uncertainty. It's tough to imagine giving up the little freedoms that make life worth living, like sitting in your favorite chair or watering the garden you've tended for years. But here's the good news: it doesn't have to be that way. There are gentle, practical options that let you keep your dignity and stay in control, without feeling boxed into a place that doesn't feel like home. These alternatives aren't just hopeful ideas. They're real solutions people are embracing every day, allowing you to live with freedom, respect, and support exactly on your terms. What's more, many of these choices bring surprising benefits you might not expect. Stronger connections, better mental clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose that can brighten each day. It's about finding the right fit for your life, one that honors your story and your wishes. So, what if you could choose a path that feels just right? One that lets you live well, exactly how you want. You deserve that. A life full of freedom, joy, and respect. Let's explore those possibilities together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. Now, let's begin. 1. Staying in your own home with in-home care. Staying in your own home as you grow older. It's a dream many of us hold close to our hearts. It's more than just a place. It's the backdrop of decades of memories, laughter, and even tears. The walls have witnessed birthdays, holidays, quiet mornings with coffee on the porch, and evenings curled up with a good book. For many older women, the thought of leaving that behind can feel like losing a piece of themselves. The idea of a nursing home or assisted living facility might stir a deep worry about loss of control, unfamiliar surroundings, or simply the fear of becoming invisible. But what if you didn't have to leave? What if the comfort of your own home, the rhythm you've known for years, could be maintained while still getting the support you need? That's where in-home care comes in. A gentle hand that helps you keep your independence, but makes daily life manageable and safe. I remember hearing about Margaret, a woman in her late 70s, who faced this very dilemma. Her knees had become stiff, and her memory wasn't quite as sharp as it used to be. Managing medications and daily chores became a challenge. Yet, Margaret didn't want to give up her cozy little house with the garden she lovingly tended for decades. Instead, she chose to invite help in, an aide who visits her a few hours 5 days a week. This wasn't about losing independence. It was about enhancing it. With that support, Margaret wakes up each morning, enjoys her crossword puzzles, listens to the birds outside her kitchen window, and meets her neighbor for coffee every Sunday. All the small pleasures that make life rich and meaningful. She can still make her own decisions, keep her routines, and live with dignity. The care adapts to her needs, scaling up or down as life changes, offering flexibility and respect. In-home care isn't just about assistance with chores like cooking, cleaning, or running errands. It can also include more personal care, like help with bathing, dressing, or ensuring medications are taken on time. It's designed to meet you where you are, preserving your familiar surroundings and the independence you cherish. This option holds profound benefits, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Studies show that seniors who age in place with support tend to maintain stronger cognitive function and experience fewer bouts of depression compared to those who move into institutional settings. Being in a place you know, surrounded by your belongings, your scents, your familiar sounds, creates a sense of safety and peace that's hard to replicate anywhere else. It's easy to underestimate how powerful that sense of familiarity can be. For many older adults, it means more than just comfort. It means maintaining identity and purpose. When you're in your own home, you hold the reins of your life. You decide what your day looks like. You keep control over the small things that, collectively, make you feel whole. And there's something to be said about how this impacts family too. Knowing a loved one can stay safely at home, with just the right amount of help, often brings immense relief to children and relatives. It allows for peace of mind without sacrificing the dignity of the person they care about. Plus, it helps keep the bond strong. Visits happen naturally, relationships deepen, and the feeling of community continues. Some might worry that staying at home means being isolated or alone, but that isn't necessarily the case. In-home caregivers often become trusted companions who provide both physical help and social interaction. For many seniors, this gentle presence alleviates loneliness and fosters connection. Moreover, choosing in-home care can be financially practical. While nursing homes or assisted living facilities often come with hefty price tags, in-home care can be tailored to fit budgets and individual needs. You can start small, maybe just a few hours a week, and increase support only when necessary. This flexibility means you're paying only for what you need when you need it. Of course, there are challenges to consider. Coordinating care, finding the right caregiver, and trusting someone to enter your personal space takes courage and careful thought. However, families have found this path rewarding and manageable with the right planning. Many communities now offer resources to help seniors connect with reputable home care services. Whether through local aging agencies, healthcare providers, or trusted referrals, support is more accessible than ever. Technology also plays a role, with devices that ensure safety, like emergency alert systems and medication reminders, seamlessly integrating with in-home care to create a comprehensive safety net. Ultimately, staying in your own home with in-home care is about honoring the life you've lived and the person you are today. It's about saying, I choose to keep my freedom, my routines, and my dignity. It's about embracing support as a tool, not a limitation. If you've ever walked into your living room and felt the weight of memories and the warmth of familiar surroundings, you know what's at stake. That feeling can't be replicated in a sterile room down the hall. And that's why, for so many, staying home with the right care is not just an option, it's a lifeline. So if you're weighing your choices, remember Margaret's story and countless others who have found joy and safety under their roofs. This path may not always be simple, but it is deeply meaningful. It's a way to hold on to your identity, your independence, and your home, all at once. And isn't that what we all deserve as we journey through this beautiful, challenging stage of life? 2. Living with family in a supportive arrangement. For so many older women, family means everything. The laughter at the dinner table, the comfort of a grandchild's hug, the gentle support of a daughter or son checking in. These small moments become the heartbeat of each day as we grow older. But life, with its constant twists, doesn't always make it easy to stay as connected as we'd like. Maybe your children have busy careers, maybe the grandkids are scattered across the country, or maybe you've been living alone for a while, feeling both proud of your independence and quietly longing for a deeper connection. The idea of moving in with family, especially after years of managing on your own, can feel daunting at first. There's that little whisper of worry. Will I become a burden? Will I lose my privacy? Will I fit into their lives, or end up feeling like a guest in my own family? These thoughts are completely natural. I've felt them myself, and I've seen so many friends face the same tangle of hope and hesitation. But let's be honest, sometimes, after a loved one passes, or an illness makes daily life a bit more complicated, the house can feel emptier than ever. The echo of an empty room, the long hours between phone calls, even the weight of making every decision alone, it can chip away at our sense of belonging and purpose. That's when the idea of family, not just as visitors but as companions under one roof, begins to shine in a different light. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. These days, living with family isn't what it used to be. Gone are the stereotypes of giving up or being cared for. Today, more families are embracing supportive arrangements that offer mutual respect, shared space, and a balance between togetherness and independence. It's about partnership, not dependence. You're not moving in to be taken care of, but to become part of something bigger, a two-way relationship where everyone benefits. Take the story of James, whose world turned upside down after losing his wife. For months, his days blurred together. Breakfast alone, errands alone, evenings watching TV in silence. His daughter, worried about his well-being, suggested he come live with her family. They converted the space above the garage into a cozy apartment just for him. It had its entrance, a little kitchenette, and even a favorite armchair from his old home. James was hesitant at first, but soon realized he could enjoy privacy and routine, while also sharing dinners, attending his grandson's baseball games, and simply being present for the little things. What made it work? Boundaries. Clear, loving, and respectful. He wasn't expected to babysit at the drop of a hat or join every family activity. He kept his schedule but was always welcome at the dinner table. This sense of being in but not imposed upon gave him a new sense of safety and freedom. Instead of being alone with his grief, he became part of a household that truly valued him. Supportive living with family doesn't erase your identity, it can deepen it. You can share stories from your past, teach traditions to the next generation, and feel the joy of being needed, heard, and cherished. For grandmothers especially, there's nothing like seeing your legacy take root right in front of you. Recipes passed down, bedtime tales retold, a grandchild seeking advice after a tough day at school. The psychological benefits are real and profound. Studies have shown that older adults who live in multi-generational homes often experience less loneliness and greater happiness. There's a rhythm to shared life, the sound of kids playing in the backyard, a neighbor dropping by for coffee, a spontaneous movie night. Even small, everyday moments, like folding laundry with your daughter or helping a grandchild with homework, become powerful reminders that you're still woven into the fabric of family life. Of course, it's not always smooth sailing. There may be days when you crave solitude or find family dynamics a bit overwhelming. That's why communication is so important. Successful supportive arrangements begin with honest conversations about boundaries, expectations, and privacy. What time of day do you need for yourself? What shared responsibilities feel comfortable? What space is just for you? And when do you want to be part of the group? Addressing these questions openly from the start helps everyone feel respected and understood. It's also perfectly normal to contribute in your way. Maybe you enjoy gardening, or perhaps you help out with meals, or simply bring your wisdom and calm presence to a hectic household. The key is to find balance, giving and receiving, connecting and retreating, so everyone thrives. Financially, supportive living arrangements can be a relief for all generations. Sharing a home can cut down on expenses, from groceries to utilities, and may even open the door to government support or tax benefits. But more valuable than money is the comfort of knowing help is always near. If you feel dizzy one morning or need a ride to the doctor, you're not facing it alone. Living with family in a supportive way isn't about surrendering your independence. It's about building a new kind of freedom, one rooted in love, connection, and shared purpose. It's about choosing presence over loneliness, laughter over silence, and memories made together over memories recalled alone. So if you ever find yourself wondering, what's next for me? Remember that moving in with family, when done thoughtfully, can be one of life's greatest gifts. It's a chance to both give and receive care, stay connected, and write a new chapter filled with warmth, meaning, and joy. You're not alone, and you never have to be. 3. Aging in place with smart home modifications. There's something deeply comforting about waking up in your bed, sunlight streaming through the same curtains you've chosen and washed 100 times, hearing the familiar creaks of the hallway floor. For so many older women, the thought of leaving this behind, those cherished rhythms of home, can be both unsettling and unnecessary. Yet, as the years go by, even the most beloved spaces can present new challenges. A slippery bathroom floor, a stairway that feels steeper with every climb, cabinets that now seem just a little out of reach. But aging in place isn't about ignoring these changes or pretending they don't exist. It's about acknowledging them and responding with wisdom, creativity, and a touch of courage. That's where smart home modifications come in. Small, practical changes that turn your home into a safer, more welcoming haven, so you can stay surrounded by everything and everyone you love. Sometimes, the realization comes gradually. Maybe you catch yourself hesitating before stepping into the bathtub, remembering a friend's nasty fall. Or maybe you've slipped while carrying laundry downstairs, heart pounding as you regain your balance. Each time, a tiny voice wonders, could this be a sign that it's time to move out? The truth is, it's not. These are the very moments when your home can, and should, adapt to you. The beauty of smart home modifications is that they're not about stripping away independence. If anything, they preserve it. Consider a simple grab bar next to the shower, installed discreetly yet strong enough to lean on. Or a set of sturdy railings on both sides of your staircase, making each step less of a gamble. Non-slip mats and brighter lighting in hallways become invisible guardians, letting you move freely without worry. Margaret, a lifelong gardener and mother of 3, found herself reluctant to go upstairs after a bout of vertigo. She missed her sewing room and reading nook. Her daughter suggested installing a stair lift. At first, Margaret protested, "I'm not old enough for that yet." But after a single smooth, safe ride up to her sunny landing, her pride melted away. The stair lift became a symbol of empowerment, not defeat. She was no longer a prisoner to her own home's layout. Bathrooms, too, can be transformed from risky territory to a place of relaxation. A walk-in tub eliminates the hazard of high steps. A handheld showerhead means less stretching and balancing. Raised toilet seats and lever-style faucet handles make daily routines easier, especially on arthritic hands. For women used to doing everything themselves, these modifications aren't an admission of weakness, they're a celebration of self-sufficiency. The kitchen, once the heart of the house, can become a challenge with heavy pots and slippery floors. But a few thoughtful updates, a pull-down shelf, a lower microwave, or a rolling cart for groceries, can make all the difference. You can keep making your famous pies, your Sunday roast, or just a comforting cup of tea, confident that the space supports you as much as you've supported your family over the years. And then there's the magic of technology. For those willing to welcome a little innovation, motion sensor lights can illuminate your path on nighttime trips to the bathroom, and smart thermostats keep you cozy without having to fiddle with old dials. Video doorbells let you see who's knocking without rushing to answer, and voice-activated assistants can remind you to take your medicine or call a loved one. Even a simple medical alert pendant can bring peace of mind to you and your family, without ever feeling intrusive. For Linda, a retired nurse living alone after her husband passed away, these changes were transformative. After a minor fall in the kitchen, she and her daughter sat down together and made a list. By the end of the month, Linda's house had brighter lighting, a new shower bench, and an easy-to-use smart speaker that played her favorite jazz while also keeping track of her appointments. She didn't just feel safer, she felt renewed. Friends marveled at how much more confident she seemed, moving easily from room to room, even planning to host her book club once again. What's most powerful about aging in place with smart modifications is the message it sends. You are not giving up on life, you are investing in it. You are claiming your right to comfort, safety, and dignity in the space that holds your dearest memories. Each adjustment is a promise to yourself that you deserve to stay home, to be independent, and to make your own choices, no matter your age. And for families, supporting these changes is an act of profound respect. It's saying, we trust you, we believe in your strength, and we want to help you continue living where you feel most like yourself. There is a deep, quiet satisfaction in knowing your home, your refuge, isn't just a place you inhabit, but a partner that adapts alongside you. The process doesn't have to happen all at once. Start with the changes that make the biggest difference in your daily comfort. Ask for recommendations, explore new tools, and don't be afraid to invest in your well-being. After all, You've spent a lifetime making your house a home. Now, it's time for your home to return the favor. So, if you ever find yourself wondering if it's possible to stay put, to keep living the life you love, know that with the right modifications, you absolutely can. Your home is ready to support your next chapter, and you are more than ready to write it. 4. Multigenerational living with clear boundaries. It's funny how life comes full circle. So many of us spent decades raising children, building a home, and teaching our families about respect, hard work, and love. We watched our children grow up, leave the nest, and start families of their own. And for a while, our homes grew quieter, a little too quiet, maybe, especially after the loss of a spouse or the children moving far away. The memories lingered in the hallways, the laughter echoed in old bedrooms, but day-to-day life became a bit lonelier. Then, almost unexpectedly, life offers a chance for those circles to meet again. Multigenerational living. It might sound old-fashioned, even daunting at first. 3 or more generations under one roof, each with their routines, hopes, and quirks. But for many American families today, this arrangement is being rediscovered, not as a step backward, but as a path toward deeper connection and mutual support. If, and only if, it's done thoughtfully, with clear boundaries and genuine respect. The truth is, the prospect of moving in with your adult children or having them move in with you stirs up a tangle of feelings. There's the hope for togetherness and the comfort of familiar faces, but also a quiet anxiety. Will I lose my sense of self? Will I end up babysitting all day, or feel like a guest in my own family? Will we get on each other's nerves? These are real concerns, and you're not alone in having them. I remember Mary, my dear friend from church, who lost her husband after 48 years together. The loneliness in her house was heavy, especially in the evenings. Her daughter and son-in-law invited her to move into their home, which they remodeled with a private suite just for Mary. A sunny sitting room, a little kitchenette, and a door that locked from the inside for her peace of mind. At first, she hesitated, afraid of becoming an imposition, or worse, losing her independence. But her daughter was firm. "Mom, we want you here, not as our responsibility, but as our family." What made it work wasn't just the physical space, but the emotional one. They set clear boundaries from the beginning. Mary kept her routines, her morning tea, her crossword puzzles, her quiet afternoons reading by the window. She could join family dinners when she wanted, but she was never pressured. Her grandkids knew that Grandma's suite was her private sanctuary, and the family as a whole honored her right to say, "No, not today," to any activity. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Those boundaries didn't create distance, they created freedom. Mary found herself helping with homework when she felt like it, sharing stories about her youth at the dinner table, and sometimes offering a shoulder to her daughter on those rough, chaotic days that come with raising teenagers. But she also cherished the independence of retreating to her own space, where she could nap, pray, or just enjoy her favorite show in peace. The respect flowed both ways. Multigenerational living, when grounded in honesty and clear expectations, can be a source of joy and stability for everyone involved. The arrangement thrives on open conversations. What does everyone need, and what does everyone offer? Who's responsible for chores, meals, or childcare? What times and spaces are sacred, and which are meant to be shared? These aren't one-time talks, but ongoing check-ins, especially as needs change. For seniors, having your area, whether it's a suite, a converted garage, or simply a room you can truly call yours, makes all the difference. That private territory allows you to keep your autonomy, your hobbies, and your sense of self intact. For the rest of the family, it helps prevent the creeping resentment or burnout that can come when roles and expectations aren't clearly defined. The benefits reach beyond logistics. Psychologically, multigenerational living can wash away the isolation that so often shadows older adulthood. Suddenly, your days have a new rhythm. A teenager bursting in to ask for help with a project, laughter from the kitchen, a grandchild knocking on your door to share a drawing. Your wisdom is valued, your stories matter, and your presence brings calm to the bustle of family life. And on holidays, the house fills with the kind of warmth and chaos that only a big, blended family can create. Of course, it isn't perfect. There will be days when privacy feels elusive, or when you long for a quiet afternoon. That's why those boundaries are sacred, built on mutual respect and a willingness to adjust. Some days you may need more space, other days you might crave the company. Good communication means everyone can express their needs without guilt. Financially, multi-generational households can also ease burdens for all generations, sharing bills and groceries, splitting chores, and giving peace of mind that someone is always nearby if needed. Above all, this living arrangement is about rewriting what it means to grow older, not as a slow retreat from family life, but as a wise, joyful, fully present member of a household where your independence is honored, not lost. So if you find yourself facing the possibility, or even the invitation, of living with family, remember, it can be one of the most meaningful chapters of your life, as long as everyone is honest, respectful, and willing to draw those all-important lines in the sand. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. And with clear boundaries, you can help shape a family life that's rich with love, laughter, and dignity, for everyone under your roof. 5. Independent living communities with on-demand support. For so many older women, the image of retirement living once brought to mind visions of gray hallways, bland meals on plastic trays, and days that dragged by in quiet isolation. Maybe you remember visiting a relative in one of those places, how the hours seemed to crawl, how people looked lost in their thoughts, and how you promised yourself you'd never end up in a setting that felt so far removed from real life. After years of making your own decisions, keeping your routines, and savoring the simple joys of freedom, the idea of giving all that up can feel almost unbearable. But there's a quiet revolution happening in how we age in America, and it's changing the script for thousands of seniors. Independent living communities with on-demand support are not your grandmother's old folks' home. Instead, they're vibrant, thoughtful neighborhoods designed for people who want to keep living life their way, while having just enough backup to feel safe and connected. They offer a refreshing middle ground between the loneliness of staying at home alone and the rigidity of traditional nursing facilities. Imagine waking up in your bright apartment, where you can fix your favorite breakfast and linger over your coffee, just as you always have. The space is truly yours, your cherished books on the shelves, your family photos on the walls, your choice of curtains on the windows. Step outside, and you might find a walking trail, a rose garden, or a courtyard buzzing with friendly conversation. Maybe today there's a yoga class in the activity room or a painting group meeting under the gazebo. If you want company, there's always someone to talk to. If you crave solitude, you can close your door and enjoy a peaceful afternoon with a novel or a nap. The beauty of these communities is the control they offer. You decide how much, or how little, help you want. Meals are available if you feel like a break from cooking, but you're never required to join. Housekeeping and laundry can be handled for you, but you're still free to keep your routines. If you have a doctor's appointment or need a prescription picked up, support is just a call away. And if you ever need a little extra help, maybe after an illness or during a rough patch, it's easy to adjust the level of support without uprooting your whole life. One of the greatest gifts of independent living communities is the sense of belonging they foster. Loneliness, after all, is one of the quietest threats to our well-being as we grow older. Days alone can blur together, and it's easy to lose the spark that makes life feel meaningful. In these communities, there are always opportunities to connect. Movie nights, book clubs, choir rehearsals, gardening projects, and even trips to local museums or farmers markets. It's a place where new friendships are made, where laughter rings through the halls, and where everyone understands the unique journey of aging with dignity. Take Ron's story, a widower who found his house growing too silent after his wife passed away and his children moved to different states. At first, the thought of moving anywhere new was daunting. But after a few visits to a nearby independent living community, he realized he could have the best of both worlds. His own space, his schedule, and the comfort of knowing help was never far away. Ron started playing cards with neighbors, joined a woodworking group, and began to look forward to Sunday morning walks on the community's wooded paths. The cloud of loneliness that once seemed permanent began to lift, replaced by a sense of purpose and hope. Another unexpected bonus? Many communities today offer a real variety of experiences. Some are nestled near lakes or parks, others focus on arts and creativity, and some have a wellness or spiritual emphasis. You can choose the environment that fits your personality, your passions, and your pace. This is your next chapter, and you deserve to write it in a way that feels right for you. Financially, independent living communities often make sense for women who no longer want the headaches of home repairs, yard work, or unpredictable bills. Everything is simplified and transparent, leaving you with more time and energy to enjoy what truly matters. Whether that's learning a new skill, connecting with friends, or simply waking up each morning without a to-do list as long as your arm. For families, these communities bring peace of mind. They know their loved one is safe, surrounded by neighbors and caring staff, but also respected as an individual. There's comfort in knowing support is always available, but not intrusive. You're not being checked on every hour, but you're never left stranded. Perhaps most of all, independent living communities with on-demand support honor the core values of independence and dignity. You don't have to choose between safety and freedom, between community and privacy. You can have both every single day. So if you've ever worried about your future, about what might happen if living alone feels too lonely, or if you're simply ready for a fresh start, know that there is a place where you can belong, where your choices are respected, and where the best years can still be ahead of you. Your story isn't over. In many ways, it's just beginning. 6. Aging in place with smart home technology. There's something sacred about the comfort of your own home. The familiar creak of the steps, the scent of your favorite candle, the view of the maple tree you planted decades ago, all of it forms the tapestry of a life well lived. For so many older women, the idea of leaving all that behind for the unknown world of a nursing facility is deeply unsettling. Yet, as the years pass, even the most cherished home can start to feel less secure. You might catch yourself hesitating at the top of the stairs, feeling nervous about a late-night trip to the bathroom, or worrying, what if I fall and no one knows? But what if, instead of seeing your home as a place full of new risks, you could make it safer, smarter, and more supportive, while never giving up the independence and dignity you've worked a lifetime to protect? That's exactly what today's smart home technology offers. It's not science fiction or a luxury reserved for the rich. It's real, affordable, and increasingly easy to use, even if you've never considered yourself tech-savvy. Let's start with the basics. Imagine lights that turn on automatically when you enter a room, softly illuminating your path for those midnight walks to the kitchen. No more fumbling for switches or worrying about tripping over the dog. Motion sensor lighting has become one of the simplest, most effective ways to prevent falls and bring peace of mind. Then there's the thermostat. Maybe you've struggled with old dials that never seem to get the temperature quite right. Now, smart thermostats learn your schedule and adjust automatically, keeping you cozy in the winter and cool in the summer without any extra effort. The bathroom, often the most dangerous place in the house, can be transformed with a bit of thoughtful tech. Waterproof smart speakers allow you to call for help hands-free if you slip, while anti-scald devices make sure your shower is never too hot. Even smart medication dispensers can chime softly and remind you when it's time to take your pills, reducing the stress of remembering every dose. If you forget, a loved one can get a gentle notification, so they can check in, offering support without nagging or invading your privacy. Let's not forget the front door. Smart video doorbells let you see who's knocking, right from your phone or tablet, so you never have to rush to answer for a stranger or a delivery. If you're expecting guests, you can unlock the door with a tap, welcoming them in without struggling with keys. For those who live alone, this little bit of technology can bring an enormous sense of safety and control. There's also the magic of fall detection. Forget the old image of bulky emergency pendants. Today's devices are sleek and discreet, and can even be built right into a watch or bracelet. They'll alert emergency contacts or 911 if you take a tumble, often without you having to say a word. It's the kind of security that lets you move confidently through your day, knowing that help is always close at hand if you ever need it. Linda's story is a beautiful example. After her husband passed, her daughter worried about her staying alone in their family home. But Linda was determined to remain in the place she loved. Together, they worked with a local company to install a simple smart home system. Motion sensors lit up the hallway at night, a voice assistant gently reminded Linda to take her heart medication, and the video doorbell let her chat with neighbors even when she wasn't feeling up to going out. For Linda, these changes didn't just add years to her time at home. They brought her joy and a fresh sense of independence. She no longer felt watched over, but rather empowered. That's the beauty of smart home technology. It doesn't replace your independence, it restores it. These tools work quietly in the background, letting you enjoy your life your way. No need to call for help unless you want it, and no fear that someone will take over your space or routines. You get to live where you feel happiest, surrounded by your memories, but with a new layer of confidence and support. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. For many older women, embracing technology can feel a little intimidating at first. There might be a learning curve, and yes, it's normal to feel nervous about trying something new. But you're not alone. Local agencies, libraries, and even your grandchildren can help you get started. And once you do, you'll wonder how you ever lived without these gentle, reassuring innovations. Best of all, these upgrades are flexible. Start with 1 or 2 things, a smart plug for a lamp, or a fall detector for peace of mind, and add more as you feel comfortable. Before long, your home feels not only like your sanctuary but also like your partner in staying independent. Aging in place with smart home technology isn't about holding on to the past. It's about building a future in the place you love most, with tools that honor your wisdom, protect your safety, and give you and your family peace of mind. You've spent your life making a house a home. Now, let technology help you stay there, thriving for many beautiful years to come. 7. Intergenerational living communities. Imagine waking up each morning to the gentle sounds of a neighborhood coming to life, the distant laughter of children on their way to school, a young mother waving as she heads out for work, the college student next door practicing her guitar. For many older women, these simple, everyday moments used to fade into the background, replaced by the quiet of empty halls or the lonely silence that too often settles after a spouse is gone and the children have moved far away. But what if, instead of withdrawing from the world, you could become a part of a community alive with all ages, where your experience and wisdom are not only respected but cherished? That's the promise of intergenerational living communities, a new way of growing older that offers so much more than just a place to live. These communities are carefully designed so that people of all ages live, learn, and grow together, side by side. Instead of being separated by age or ability, neighbors support one another, share meals and stories, and create a vibrant tapestry of daily life where every generation has a role. It might seem a little intimidating at first. After all, for so long, society told us that getting older meant shrinking your world, trading noise for quiet, and learning to get by on your own. But intergenerational communities are proving that isolation is not the only option, that connection is a powerful kind of medicine. Here, you're never just a senior citizen. You're a valued friend, a mentor, and an essential thread in the community fabric. Let's take Joan's story. At 76, after years of living in the same suburban house, Joan felt her world had become too small. Her neighbors had moved away, and the lively family gatherings that once filled her weekends were now just memories. She worried about becoming invisible, just another older woman with too many quiet days and not enough reasons to get out of bed. Then her daughter told her about a new kind of neighborhood in Oregon, where seniors and younger people live together, each group offering something unique to the other. With curiosity and a bit of hesitation, Joan moved into her new apartment. At first, it was the little things that made her smile. The teenager upstairs who offered to carry her groceries, the young couple who stopped by to ask for advice on a stubborn pie crust, the laughter and music drifting from the community center every Thursday night. But what truly changed her life was the sense of purpose she found. Joan started a poetry circle for local students, helping them find their voices and, in turn, letting their energy and optimism lift hen spirits. The relationships built in these communities go both ways. When a neighbor's child struggled with homework, Joan offered gentle encouragement. When Joan's phone wouldn't cooperate or her garden needed a weeding, it was a young friend who stepped in to help. These exchanges weren't acts of charity, they were moments of real partnership, rooted in respect and a shared sense of belonging. The physical design of intergenerational communities encourages these bonds. There are gardens and walking paths where people naturally meet, activity rooms that buzz with art projects and board games, and kitchens where impromptu potlucks spring up on a Sunday afternoon. Unlike the sterile lobbies and locked doors of some senior facilities, these neighborhoods invite you to join in, to laugh and create and share every day. And the benefits go far beyond just the social. Studies show that older adults in intergenerational communities experience less loneliness, slower cognitive decline, and a greater sense of self-worth. The rhythms of daily life, children's play, friendly debates, even the occasional noisy dinner, bring vitality and color to days that once felt too quiet. For the young, having older neighbors close by offers a chance to learn compassion, gain perspective, and see that aging is a natural, beautiful part of life. Perhaps the greatest gift is how these communities allow you to keep growing. Your wisdom is valued, your stories have an audience, and your presence is a blessing. Whether you're teaching a neighbor to knit, learning the latest dance craze, or simply sitting under a shady tree sharing memories, you're part of something bigger than yourself. Life doesn't narrow with age, it can actually widen, offering new connections, new learning, and new reasons to feel needed every day. If you've ever feared growing older meant growing apart from the world, intergenerational living offers a gentle, joyful alternative. It's not about moving away from the life you've built, it's about moving toward a new chapter, surrounded by people who welcome you just as you are. Here you're seen, you're heard, and you matter. So, if you've ever wondered whether there's a way to keep giving and growing, to stay connected and inspired, take heart. Intergenerational communities are living proof that the best years can be full of new friends, shared laughter, and days bright with meaning. Your presence isn't just accepted, it's celebrated every single day. Thank you for spending this time with me and exploring these new possibilities for living with dignity, comfort, and joy. If you're anything like me, this journey through so many different options, some familiar, some brand new, might leave you feeling a gentle sense of hope where there used to be only worry. Perhaps you remember the laughter of your own kitchen, or saw yourself making friends in a lively community, or felt that spark of pride thinking, I can still choose what's right for me. Growing older doesn't mean you have to give up your independence, your dreams, or the warmth of true connection. In fact, it's a time to lean into what matters most, to honor your story, and to surround yourself with the support and love you deserve. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What was the one idea or possibility that spoke to your heart today? Is there something you learned that you're excited to put into practice in your own life, or maybe share with a friend or family member? Please share your thoughts and experiences below this video. I truly believe your wisdom could inspire someone else who's walking this same path. If you found value in this conversation, don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us keep building this caring community, where every voice matters and no one has to face these choices alone. You deserve to live well, today and every day.